Hi everybody, welcome to No Tippy Tappy Football, brought to you by Boyle Sports. We are back for the World Cup. So we are going to be here at least once a week throughout the whole of the World Cup tournament. We're going to have, of course, as always, plenty of strong opinions. And at some point, our extremely low budget tactics board will be coming back out, which I know we're all very excited about. So Sam isn't here this week. I'm not here next week. And then Sam and I are back together. But we have some amazing people instead, because thank you as always coming back for the best stand-in that we have. Thanks, Tim.
Always a pleasure. Always
appreciate you coming.
Yeah, good to see you. Had a busy weekend.
Lovely weekend, thank you. Yeah, you?
Yeah, really busy. Really busy. Looking forward to the World Cup starting.
Me too. I go to Boston on Wednesday, so
fantastic.
Very excited.
Good. Happy travels.
Can't wait. Would you like to introduce our guest?
Our guest today, and I believe he's been on the podcast a few times. He is I'm not sure whether he's a Newcastle, a West Ham, or a Bolton legend. I think probably all of them
three
clubs.
Yeah.
I'd like to welcome Kevin Nolan.
Thanks, mate. How are you? You all right?
All good.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Nice to be back, Nat.
We appreciate you coming back.
Nice to see you getting the recognition you deserve in the paper as well. For being such a good presenter.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm a TV star. Thank you. So before we get into the World Cup, lots and lots of things to discuss, lots of topics to discuss. One quick question. Out of 10, no fence sitting, what comes to your head? Out of 10, how confident are you that England will win the World Cup right now?
7.
6. 6, 7.
Yeah.
No, you're too old for that, Tim. You are too old.
One of them, though.
You're too old too. I'm sorry, everybody. Wow, really? Okay, why?
There's a few reasons. The main reason is the heat. I think that will play a huge part. Ability to be able to keep the ball. I think we saw it the other day. Be at the friendly games, and there's a lot of work to be done. Obviously, no cohesion amongst the players at the moment, and they've got an easy-ish group. I'm not being too blasé with that, but I think if you're England, you should qualify for the next stage, which I think they will. Hopefully, you can play and not rotate too much, because I think the cohesion is going to be key to them keeping the ball in them hot conditions. Have we got the creativity to be able to open the teams up? I'm not sure we've got that little bit of magic what you might need. And we're obviously so reliant on one player, and that's Harry Kane. So for them reasons, I just think I look for other squads, and I think they've got better creativity than us.
A little bit later on, I've actually got a list of some of the top teams, their front threes, and I want to go through them and let's compare the front threes. I think that's such a great point. Kev?
Yeah, I went obviously 7 because I think that they've been there now. They've done it, a lot of this squad. You know, Jordan Pickford's a big, obviously, character in that. I think Tim's just said it there. If we can keep Harry Kane fit, you know, he's always the one person who you just expect that at some point will come up with a magical moment for you. And I think he probably deserves it. You know, you got Declan Rice, who I feel is one of the best in the world in his position. So it's just going to be if they get it right, and if they can get that cohesiveness in the next, you know, couple of weeks, which again we don't want to sort of talk down about the group, but you should expect them to comfortably get through, and then if you can sort of see a pathway through to the final, like they've had a couple of good runs, haven't they, where they've met teams who you wouldn't expect in quarterfinals or in semis. So I'm hoping that they will be able to get through it, but I think as Tim just said there, the heat's a major factor. So hopefully they can get through that, and they can give us a summer to remember.
If you'd have asked me at the beginning of the season about creativity, I would have certainly put in Phil Foden. Yeah. I would have put in Cole Palmer. They would have been 100% in there. Morgan Gibbs-White, the way he's played at the back end of the season, you would think the boy can't do any more to get a call up. We've got Eze there, of course. We've got Morgan Rogers, who I think is a fantastic player. We've got Jude Bellingham, who's a little bit different. I think he's more of a Lampard mould. You know, he anticipates where the ball's going to land in the box. We know he's got big moments in him. But it was just never worked out for Cole Palmer and Phil. And I think, you know, if you're another nation looking in, you're thinking, wow, if they can leave out those two, you know, and Morgan Gibbs-White, throw them into the hat as well. Must have some squad. So
And
the
I
pressure's
don't
on the manager.
mean to be a bit like anything against Thomas here, but you feel like it's more of an efficient squad, like in a German sort of national team. It feels like when he was picking, he went for more efficiency than he were going to be flair.
Yeah.
You know, when Germany have won it, they've had really good, talented individuals, but they haven't had that sort of key factor, but they'd be in the games and they'd be efficient in everything what they do. And I feel that's where Thomas thinks that he's got the best chance of winning it. So that's why he did leave them 2-0.
And I suppose if you compare that to sort of the Arsenal and the way that people spoke about Arsenal in the Premier League, the fans do not care at this point, celebrating their title win, how they played.
And he's actually said that, hasn't he, in his press conferences, and then sort of to back himself up with the squad he's picked. That I've watched a lot of the English games in the top teams in England and everything else, and you look at Arsenal now and what they've done to get to the final of the Champions League and win the league. So yeah, look, let's hope that we can produce. It'd be great for them lads, because some of them really do deserve a top medal. Them like the likes of Harry Kane, who's done marvellous for the English game, then gone over to Germany and absolutely set to the light. The likes of Declan Rice for me. Obviously working with them, we've got a lot of Tim working with Harry and bringing him into the game, if you like, give him the chance when no one else was giving him it. It's incredible to see him now how he's just gone and kept on going. So yeah, for them lads who've been there and sort of just not quite got over the line, I hope that they can do it.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into it, obviously, a lot more. And I give Scotland a good 8, by the way. Just want to say, though, of course, we have our wonderful sponsors, Boyle Sports. Now, would you fancy a free shot at winning £100,000 this World Cup? Yes, please. So check out Predict 7. It is sponsored by Boyle Sports, and all you need to do is predict how many goals 7 selected players will score throughout the tournament, plus the total number of goals scored across the World Cup. Get all your predictions right and you could land a £100,000 prize. So for full details, go to predict7.footyaccumulators.com. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Please gamble responsibly. I will be straight onto that at the end of this podcast. Love the sound of that. Thank you to Boyle Sports. Okay, so let's talk about England. We are recording this on the Monday. England have another friendly on Wednesday, and they played New Zealand at the weekend. So one interesting quote that I want to get both your views on. Thomas Tuchel said that England played too much freestyle in the first half and lacked width on the right versus New Zealand. So what do you first of all make of his comments?
We just talked about it. We talked about being a structural team, and I think that's the way Thomas wants to go. Less mavericks, certainly in the selection. And even the players who have got the flair and who are the mavericks, I'm not sure he wants them to play that way. They're going to have to stick to the instruction. If he's going to foul, he's going to foul doing it his way. And when he makes that comment there about freestyling, it means he doesn't want them to play off the cuff. I'm not sure I agree with that, because sometimes when a manager's on the side of the pitch, and we're not reading too much into these friendlies, this is a friendly, it's going to be a nothing game anyway. It's just about fitness. It's an extra training session. But sometimes the players have to make decisions on the pitch for themselves. Now, if he's criticising them already, in the back of their mind, the subconscious is, I better not do that. I better do exactly what he says. So he's going to live and die by the decisions what he makes, how he structures the team, how he trains them in training to then put them onto the pitch. And ultimately, in the group stages like we talked about, they will get through. They will get through there. It's when you get to the last 16, the quarterfinal, semi-final, please God, that is when I think players might have to do something a little bit special to win the football match. And then the structure goes out of the window. Unless he's going to be like an Arsenal, and there's no wrong with it. You need to find a different way to score a goal. And that we saw with Arsenal come from set pieces. Yeah. They found a way to win football matches. Is he going to look at this tournament and think defences are going to win this tournament, or are the Mavericks going to win? We see Argentina very dogged, very, very solid at the back, midfield, workmanlike, but they had Messi. No one was telling Messi how to go about his business. It was just go and do it and let him do his stuff. I'm not sure we've got that. Well, I know for sure we haven't got.
I'm not excited to watch England. I'm not excited to watch England.
No, that's only because Scotland are there, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Really. See, you got your time on again
I can't
today.
wait to tune into them Scottish games.
I'm excited to watch France. I'm excited to watch Spain. I'm excited in part to watch Portugal. I'm not excited to watch England.
No.
Oh. Yeah. In terms of what he said on
Thanks
the
for
right, yeah, you're welcome, everybody. You're welcome. So he said they lacked width on the right versus New Zealand. Started Ollie Watkins right wing and Jarell Quansah. What do you think it says about them? Are his comments too honest?
Well, I think that's one thing what we've seen from Thomas since he's gone in is that he will just say exactly what he's thinking and what he feels. He's not going to sort of hold back. He's going to make sure he puts it on the players, and it's up to them to respond in the positive manner. I think that's how he has gone since he's sort of come over to England. When he was at Chelsea, I think he was quite similar as well. He'd call people out. So I don't feel that's any different. I don't think these lads probably take too much into it. I think the problem what you've got is that it probably showed us that he's sort of looking at Ivan Toney as the main backup to Kane. So Ollie Watkins might have had his nose put out of joint thinking, I've had a really strong end to the season, just won the Europa League, and now I'm playing out on the right, which he's done. He's done, in his career. So it's probably something what he's probably looked at, Thomas, and thought, could we use him in that moment? But obviously more naturally over the last couple of years he's been Aston Villa's main man down the centre, and so that's why he hasn't sort of been able to get used to that right hand side again, because he probably hasn't done it for a long time. So I think it's just probably honesty, probably a bit where Ollie will be thinking, well, look, if I can play out, I'm going to play, and if I have to do the job, I'll do it for the team. With the fact you've got Jarell Quansah, he was a very surprise addition for me, I must admit, with the lads who we left out. But yeah, we'll only see. I think what we will see is that I feel that John Stones and probably Gay are going to be probably the main two with Quansah. That's going to be the fight, I think, between the defenders. So I think he was brought in because he can play across that back four, Quansah, as well. So
I'm not sure Thomas was criticising Watkins. I think he was just making the point that, because it's going to be Saka, isn't it?
Yeah.
We know out there is going to be Saka. He's a natural outside right player who likes to drift in, but they need someone who to get around the outside of him. So whoever plays right back is the question for me to give us the width.
Exactly that, yeah.
We know Saka can go both ways. So I don't think Ollie can worry. I'm not sure he's going to start anyway. Like Ivan Toney, we talked about him as well. Any of these boys up front, they're not going to start, are they? Unless Harry gets an injury. So they're going to have to come off the bench and they're going to have to impact it. We know Ollie's done that before. Albeit it wasn't Thomas Tuchel's side, but he's done it on a big occasion before. So I wouldn't have any worries about Ollie Watkins, but not outside right.
Who's your right back then?
It's a tough one. Reece has to play. Surely,
if he's fit, I think there's no one else better than him in that position within that squad. I think with the squad what he's picked, I think you've got to have Reece James.
Yeah, I forgot about him. I mean, how can you forget about him? He's one of the world's best right backs. Yeah, I would have took Trent. Basically, I would have took him, but I still wouldn't have played Trent over Reece James. Yeah, so Livramento playing on the left hand side as well. I think he's took him because he can play both sides. I mean, he's going to get up and down. That's his game, Livramento. He's got good pace. He does recover well, but Reece James is a different level. Yeah.
In terms of Thomas Tuchel, obviously he's very honest with the when he talks in his post match, and I find it fascinating. I quite like it. I wonder sometimes if it's the best thing to do is level of honesty that he has. But do you think, obviously we're not talking anymore about the fact that he's German. I think that's been talked to death. But do you think a positive of that is that he's able to come into this looking at it as a job? How do I do the best job, as opposed to having that emotional, English responsibility, country weight on his shoulders?
Well, that's what he was brought in to do. He's brought in to win the World Cup, and he's not. And like Tim said earlier, that's what he's looking at. He's not looking at what goes on beyond the World Cup. He's not looking at anything else. Doesn't care who he upsets along the way. What he's doing is thinking, right, I've got to crack at this to make sure I win the World Cup, and if I do that, then I bring success which hasn't been here and everything else, and he'll be lauded for forever in England and across the world because of what he's done. And you'll probably get the Germans saying you needed a German for us to win it. But I think he's just sort of looking at it and going, no. And I'm telling you, I think from what I can gather, the lads all quite like Thomas. They like Anthony, who's behind them, who's Scouse lad who I've known since we went to school together in secondary school. So I think he's just said, look, don't worry about what I say in the media. Let me just sort of play and take it off, because we do talk about Thomas Tuchel's a bit like what Jose done when he first come in. Is we all waited on a Friday, didn't we, to see what he was going to say, and then everything would be taken away, and all the focus would be on him and not on the team. And I think that's what he's trying to do, because he knows how hyped up this nation gets and the way it all changes quite quickly, and everyone then says we're going to be favourites, we're going to do this. I think he talks them down a lot to say, yeah, we're not quite there, but behind the scenes, he'll be like, this is what we're doing. They all know. And if they do step out of line, he'll tell them, but he'll say, I'm going to tell them as well, so that they know. We're not. There's no grey areas here. It's black and white, and then that's how we go. And I think
we quite like him for that, though, don't we?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
you know,
I
for him
think we need
sticking
that,
to his guns.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to do it his way.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. He knows full well if he doesn't win the World Cup, it will be deemed a failure. Even though I think if they go to the latter stages, I think it's a reasonable return, but not in the public's eyes. We've been there before. Gareth has took us to positions where we've nearly touched the trophy, but we haven't managed to actually get it over our heads. He knows he's under pressure to be able to do that, and if he don't, he's a failure.
Yeah, God, football is crazy when you say it like that, isn't it? Win the World Cup or you're a failure. Have you watched Dear England, by the way, the programme on BBC?
No, not yet, no.
No, I've not.
I did only see it yesterday, though, I think, yeah.
I've seen it on the stage. I saw it as a stage show, and the stage show is great. I don't know how it translates, but apparently there's a scene in the TV show of the Dear England one. I don't remember it in the stage show, where they show Jude Bellingham as very vocal and a bit of a spiky character in the changing room. Obviously, we don't. You know, we don't know. It's what do they call it? Drama. Like it's not real. It's like like we don't know what actually happened in there. Thomas Tuchel said some things about Jude Bellingham after this weekend. You know, he said that he is a part of the group that are starters, but he said there's sort of 14 or 15 of them, I think he said, that could start. So do you think, in terms of the English media, when somebody gets to the top of their game, like Jude Bellingham, they're playing for Real Madrid, do you feel like he's becoming a target for the media? And therefore, is it a concern if he doesn't start? Does it become a bigger sort of media story?
Yes, on both accounts. I think it's always been the same. I don't think anything's changed. You always get a superstar player, or we relying on his fitness to come through. Jude's that. He's more than that. He's playing for Real Madrid. He's a personality. He's a profile without doing too much. You know, we're not talking about someone who's like David Beckham back in the day, who was winning everything, you know, in Champions Leagues and then everyone's waiting for his, you know, with bated breath, waiting for the fitness of that guy, because without him, we can't win the World Cup. There's one man who that concerns, and that is Harry Kane. Yeah. It's not Jude Bellingham. Well, I think we all agree that we could do without Jude Bellingham, but it'd be nice to have him fit. And if he's firing on all cylinders, because like I say, he has got them big moments in him. I think it is a lot of pressure on Thomas, but we've spoke about it. He don't care. He don't care how much pressure is on him. I think he's so cold. I think if you put a heart monitor on him, I think it'd be very, very low compared to other managers who have worn, you know, that cap for England. It's a difficult job. He knows that. It's the most pressurized environment he's ever going to be in. And I think he appreciates what he's going into. And I think it does help that he's German as well. And he hasn't got, you know, nation. You know, he's an Englishman. He's not. He won't sing the national anthem. I don't think he necessarily has to. He's German. All he needs to do is win. Yeah. And he knows full well if he doesn't get the results and we don't bring that trophy home, he will get criticised for that. And I was going to say rightly so, but I believe it's harsh. It's harsh, but that's football management and it's fine margins. And I think he appreciates the fine margins. But you leave out Jude Bellingham, you're going to get criticism. Unless they win the football match. As a manager, and I say it many, many times, if you win, you're always right. If you don't, you're wrong.
Well, you're scrutinised, aren't you? That's it. And the scrutiny goes into England, I reckon, you know, 100-fold compared to any other nation, the way we scrutinise everything. What, you know, Gareth brought success to us, which we hadn't seen for a long time. We brought a togetherness, a real feel that the lads were with us as fans, if you like, for the first time, I think, since I've been playing. Certainly when I was playing, and probably when Tim was playing as well. Well, probably bit less when Tim was playing, because they were a bit more pally and they get on a bit more. But certainly in that Man United sort of Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea era, you're looking at it and you're going, everything was disjointed. Now he brought that. Now Thomas has gone, well, that should just carry on. But I'm here to win. But he's going to be scrutinised if he doesn't play Jude Bellingham and he lose. He should have played Jude Bellingham. If they play Jude Bellingham and he lose, well, why is he gone with Jude Bellingham when Morgan Rogers has been brilliant for England under Thomas Tuchel? So no matter which way he goes, there's always going to be someone trying, you know, with an opinion, which is the complete opposite. So
unless they win.
And then he's right, as Tim's just said. So what he's got to do is just go and win. It's as easy as that.
There you go, Thomas. Just win. In terms of the central midfield, I mean, perfect two guys here to talk about it. When you look at England's options now, it perhaps seems to be a little bit limited. There's 4 in the squad: Rice, Anderson, Kobbie Mainoo and Jordan Henderson. It seems nuts to me. I always think that England have an abundance of central midfielders.
But Reece could play in there. Reece James. I mean, he's as good as there. He is right back.
Nico O'Reilly, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, have you got any concern about that?
No, I will play Bellingham there. I'll play him as an 8. I'd play Declan Rice. I'll play Anderson, and I would play Jude, and I'll play Morgan Rogers as a 10 with Harry Kane.
Oh, I like it. So you say that again: Jude. Anderson,
Rice,
and
Declan,
Anderson,
especially in the early stages of the competition. I think we need to open teams up. I think Jude needs to occupy centre halves. Harry Kane can then come deep. We know what he's like. He picks up the ball on the half turn, sees a pass. I just think that's the way to go, really. And maybe because you can play Morgan Rogers off the left. He's happy to do that. He does that at Villa, and he drifts into them pockets. And so I think he's got some fantastic options. But in the early part of the competition, no matter who manages them in the early part, they're going to qualify.
Ooh, that's uber confidence.
Well, they are, aren't they? I mean, they'd be. I mean, if they ain't qualifying, I mean,
finish in the top 3 in a group of 4.
Not only Thomas can't come back in, none of them can.
Then why haven't he took Foden and Cole Palmer? That's what they'll be getting. So he'll be getting battered for that. So it doesn't matter. No, I agree with Tim. I think early on in the stages you want to try and get some rhythm into your game and everything else. And but I don't think we're going to see that. We're not going to see a free flow in England. We're going to see, as I said, I really believe in a really efficient side who play from structure and everything else. Work on set pieces. That'll be a massive thing. I know Anthony done a lot of that with them at Chelsea. So they'll have the tricks up the sleeve. It's just whether they can execute on the day and execute his game plan, which will be probably to a T. And
the most important thing with set pieces is delivery. And they got Saka and they got Declan Rice. They were part of a team with the best set piece record. So they've got that. They've got that covered. They're sure starters. Them two. I would suggest.
Okay, so you've already talked about that you would play Bellingham and Morgan Rogers. How do you see? Do you agree there, Kevin? Would you play Bellingham as an 8 and Rogers further up?
Well, I think for me, when I've watched England under Thomas, and I know obviously they're going through the group stage and everything else, I think this is going to be pretty similar. I feel that Jude's got to find his way back into this squad and sort of prove himself. So for me, it would be, I think the midfield 3 for me would be a Rice, Anderson, and the Rogers behind Harry Kane with a Rashford and a Saka. So I'll play a 4-3-3. I think Tim was sort of saying playing Morgan Rogers on the left. I feel with Rashford, he likes to go that way.
He likes pace, or him or Gordon.
Yeah, him or Gordon. And I think I'm sort of favouring Rashford at the minute with the season end and the way it's ended for Gordon. So Rashford, and because that'll allow Harry, and I know that Jude will want to go that way as well because he's done that. Morgan Rogers will go that way as well, and Saka. So I think that's where I would be with this team and the starting 11. I think
I would play someone with a bit more creativity who can receive the ball, take it in little tight areas because they're going to be tight. We talked about teams sitting back there. There's going to be no space in behind for the likes of Rashford and Gordon to exploit the space. They want grass. That's what they want to see. They want to run into the. I don't think there's going to be that space. There might be in the latter stages. That's why he's not going to go that way. He's going to go with pace out there. We know that he's done it all through the qualifying, and I think that's the way he wants to go. And it will be Saka on the right.
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking what you think Thomas would do. I'm quite with Tim, I think, but we haven't picked them players, and that's why he's gone that way.
Yeah.
So because we haven't picked the Foden, we haven't picked the Cole Palmer who can get in them spaces, who's the best in them spaces. You've seen with Phil at the back end of the season with his little back heel. There's not many in.
No, you can't.
You can't. Well, you don't. That doesn't get taught. That's just the quality of the kid. You know what I mean? So, I just feel that's the way he will go.
Yeah.
So obviously they had the game at New Zealand at the weekend. They've got a game. We filmed this on a Monday. The game on the Wednesday. They're having another friendly versus Costa Rica.
Yeah.
How much do we read into whatever team he picks for that game?
I think we should be. I think now's the time. It's the last one before the games start. So you want that continuity. You wanted to get some relationships out there, especially with the centre-back partnerships. Who plays off of Harry Kane? Can they get close enough to each other? the relationship between the fullbacks and the wide players. It's all very important. So I would go with pretty much the team what's going to start.
I'll be very surprised if he doesn't. I mean, I think we've, as Tim just said, then you're going, it's the biggest game, it's your first one, you want to sort of put a statement out there, you don't want to sort of have everybody on your back right away. It's probably the toughest game in the group as well.
Yeah.
So I think you've got to give the lads a bit of time, as he said, just for understanding relationships. People know, and don't get me wrong, John Stones and Gale know each other, but it's just the confidence of getting that sort of familiarity of everything, and then also just getting back into the zone of being, playing again, because they've had a couple of weeks off. They've come back. That's the first game back. You've got Decker, I think, on Saka and all them coming back this week. They all come back this weekend, so I expect to see all them back in. And probably they'll play 45 to 60 minutes, I think, and then you'll see the finishes. So I think that's where he's got to sort of show you how he sees it for the next, for the next 6 weeks. Hopefully.
And then they've got a week until their first group game. But of course, the actual World Cup starts this week. I can't believe it's come around so fast. So kind of in terms of the wider World Cup, we've got to talk about the fact, Tim, I know you, and just so everybody knows, Tim didn't write this. We put this in. You've managed.
Do you know what's coming here, mate?
I know now, yeah.
You've managed twice against Roberto Martinez, obviously the Portugal manager. You won both those games.
Easy.
Easy. Yeah. Does he have the toughest job in the tournament, do you think, given the fact that he's got to manage 41-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo, who's very much still going to expect to be the man?
I thought Ronaldo was a manager and Roberto was assistant. No, joking apart. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I thought it was going to be the toughest job, but I think Ancelotti with Neymar seems to be quite tough. When I saw the announcement of him being in the squad, I could not believe the reaction around the world and certainly in Brazil to that announcement. But Cristiano is a legend, isn't he? And let's face it, even though he's playing in Saudi, I mean, Ivan Toney's playing in Saudi and he's got picked for what he's doing over there to be in the England squad. So we know, I mean, no matter how we dress it up, it's not the level of playing in the Premier League or some of the top nations around Europe, but he scores goals and he still scores goals. I'm not sure Roberto, he's a good coach, Roberto. He's not asking him to do anything around the box really and come and join in the play. It's just to get a chance and take them chances. And I think he's probably, in my eyes, he's probably still the best bet. And I'm sure they're hugely. Leao is the other one who possibly might play out there. I'm not sure they're blessed with brilliant number 9, so I think he has to play anyway, Ronaldo.
Ooh.
So I think Roberto might not have to worry about that decision, because I think he probably forced his way into that.
Well, he loves him. He started him in all 5 of Portugal's games at Euro 2024. He didn't score in any of them, and Martinez never substituted him in either of the knockout games as well, despite Portugal being unable to score across 240 minutes of football.
Well, I'm not sure about that. If you haven't scored and you need to make a change, you need to find a goal, surely you're making a change to.
So is he strong enough then? Is Martinez?
Well, not on them.
Yeah.
Not on them stats. No. Not on
it
them
seems
stats.
that he's got a bit of inferiority of Cristiano, but look, I think probably we all have for what he's done and what he's achieved in the game. But there comes a time when you've got to sort of put your big boys pants on and make a proper decision. And I think this is probably going to be the time. Yeah. And Cristiano's got to see that as well, because no matter what, as much as
you think he does,
he's done, he probably won't know.
41. He thinks he's going to play at 50, doesn't he?
Yeah. I was going to say, do you think he thinks this is his last World Cup?
Right, he's in poor shape, isn't he, at the moment?
He's
not looking after himself.
He's let himself go, I think. So this might be his last one. No, look, he's done incredible for the game. I think he's an incredible sort of star for like young generation kids and everybody, just looking out and seeing how he looks after himself and what he's done and how he transitioned his body from when he first come over to what he is now. So you can't knock him, but there's got to be some point where you are not quite there yet, and them stats prove it. I think there that although he's played and he might have played major roles in them games, I haven't seen it. But if he's not scored and they're not getting to latter stages of the competition with the quality they have in that squad, then
it's one of the best midfields in the
exactly.
competition.
Yeah. It's whether he then fits into this new system and new younger generation, and whether he either takes on a father figure and big brother role in that squad and become that one who comes on and helps them, or is he going to be the one I want to start and sort of throws out the pram? So really interesting to see.
Yeah, it will be. Okay, so I mentioned that I've got a list of some of the big teams and their front threes. I'm going to name them, and then I want you guys to rank them. Who's got the best front three of the tournament? So I've got France, Elise, Dembele, and Mbappe. Should we just stop? Like unbelievable. Then England, obviously, we're guessing at this point Saka, Kane, Rashford. You happy with that? England front three?
Yeah, that's what it'll be.
That's what it'll be.
Yeah.
Now, Spain, obviously, Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, and then Mikel Oyarzabal. That's Spain. Portugal, as you mentioned, Cristiano Ronaldo, Rafael Leao, and Francisco Conceição. Oh, you raised your eyebrows there. You're not having that one as much.
Not really.
Yeah. Brazil, Rafinha. I love Rafinha. Mateus Cunha, Vinicius Jr. Could be Igor Thiago,
yeah.
But that pushes, I think that one pushes France. I think it's out of them too.
Okay, and then the last one I've got is Argentina for you. Messi, Alvarez, and Martinez. Martinez. It's pretty deep. I love Julian Alvarez. Okay, that's what I've got. I can't wait for the World Cup to start. Right, that's what I've got for you, Kev.
Yeah.
Tim?
Well, I think out of them all, I think the Brazil and the French ones probably pops out the quickest.
Yeah.
Would you say?
I think they've got a mixture of everything.
Yeah.
They can handle the ball, they've got pace, they've got goals.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think, when you look at the teams that are in it, and them teams will go far, won't they?
Yeah.
You know,
well, with the French, it's just whether they can all get along. Because every tournament they seem to have a scrap.
They look all right at the minute. I've been following the social media, they look friendly.
Yeah, but it's whether when they start people not playing and everything else, and I think we've had this on numerous occasions. And I think, there's a lot of egos in that team. So I think, but you can't. I mean, if we had that front three, you wouldn't be worried, would you?
So you think they edge Brazil then?
I'll go Brazil.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Rafinha is some player.
Oh my God, he's unreal.
He's incredible, and he plays off both feet. He's got pace. He gives them, pace.
So is Cunha the letdown there?
Well, I don't think he's a letdown.
I'm joking.
I like him. I mean, Well, yeah. But I know I do like him. I like Cunha and I like Thiago too.
Yeah, I'm joking,
João Pedro can't even get in the squad.
I know, right?
I mean, what a season he's had at Chelsea. I know they had a poor year, but he had a fantastic year himself, and he can't get in that squad. I mean, it just shows.
Done a bit of politics though because
of
Richarlison. Neymar.
He had a good year.
He's one of your favourites, isn't he?
I mean, to be fair, I was shouting for him to play at the back end of the season. He scored 11 goals in a terrible Tottenham team. Yeah. And he done it at the back end of the season to keep Everton in the league, didn't he? So he had experience of doing it, and he done the same with Tottenham. So, thank goodness for Richarlison. Just not for Ancelotti, is he?
No, but it's the shock, isn't it? Because you think Neymar, where's he come from? And I actually heard, reports that he'd actually rang the Prime Minister, Ancelotti, to see if he should pick Neymar or not.
What do you know? Don't be silly. Don't be silly, mate. Of course you've got
to pick him, otherwise there'll be more eruptions in Brazil.
I could not believe that reaction, genuinely.
What was it like?
It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. People are waiting there, like bated breath. There's parties to see the announcement of the squad. And if he would have gone with someone like João Pedro, and João Pedro's sitting there with all his family around, and he just gets that news, and then everyone knew. He probably knew. It was out of him or Thiago. Once Thiago gets named, he's had a brilliant year, by the way, at Brentford. Once he got named, I think João Pedro must have known there's only one man who's going to get the nod, and that was Neymar. And there was flares, the street parties. I mean, he's not played. He's not played for about 3 years. Incredible.
Not played.
Scotland-Brazil, by the way, is going to be one of the best
upsets.
Oh, yes. The greatest upsets of World Cup history. Yes. It's just going to be the biggest party. Miami is just going to be with the Brazil fans and the Scotland fans just partying together.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Oh, it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be. Okay, so are you going Brazil number one there then?
I'm going Brazil.
Yeah.
I'll go Brazil.
go on.
Closely
France,
followed by the French.
Closely followed by France, and then
England.
Yeah.
Then England.
Yeah.
Is that your heart or your head?
Head.
Okay. Kev?
Yeah, I'm with them. I think
Okay.
they.
I mean, take
when-
Kane out of there.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just going to say exactly that.
Yeah.
You know, because you've got probably the world's best striker in there. You can't not be in the top three.
Yeah.
Of a top three, and you've got Saka, who's, you know, he's not a bad one, and Marcus Rashford, who's just won a lot with Barcelona and forced his way into an 11. So, is Lamine Yamal going to be fit? By the way.
Oh, I don't know. Good question.
I'm sure that he's struggling to be fit, and I think that'll be a big thing for Spain for me, because if he's coming on the back of not playing as many games as what he has, then I think that, because he turned up in the big moments in the last the last Euros, he was excellent when he was like the star of the show. So I think that's going to be a big one.
From a personal point of view, because I want to see Harry Kane win the Ballon d'Or, and I think
I
Harry
love
will.
that. Yeah.
Well, not that you were mentioning it, but he'll be looking at the other nations thinking, Dembele's won it last year. He's won the Champions League, domestic league. If he wins the World Cup, he might have to go to him again.
Yeah.
And he won't tell you this, but he'll be hoping that they do not progress as far as England do. And Harry scores a few goals. I think he wins the Ballon d'Or. He can't do no more than what he's done this year.
I'd love him to win the Ballon d'Or, you know.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would. I just don't think he gets
just
the
seems
recognition.
is he just as thoroughly decent as he comes across?
No, better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great lad.
Yeah, he's a good lad.
Wouldn't it be nice to just have
A good lad.
a good lad? Yeah.
just a real
like
good
a good
lad.
English, because he's just a normal English.
There's not
lad.
many of us around that, but he's a really good lad. That's what me and Tim are getting at.
Okay, I don't know why we didn't include Scotland in that list. I feel like I should have been more involved in the planning of this.
Have you got three
episode.
strikers?
No.
Shankland.
Shay Adams.
Shay Adams got two. And
Shay Adams did get two.
Bernie, but you never took him.
I know we did. I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not one to question Steve Clark clearly when I'm about to
No,
fly
he's had
out
a
with the Scottish FA on Wednesday. But yeah, he must have pushed for it at the end. Yeah, we got Lyndon Dykes.
Oh, of course you have, yeah.
Okay, 4-0 win for Scotland at the weekend over Bolivia. The only friendly that we've got, because our first game is Saturday night / Sunday morning in this country. Ben Gannon-Doak, Scott McTominay standouts, but they generally always are. When you think, for me, Scotland, on Scotland's Day, we can do it. We beat Spain in 2023. We did it. We qualified for the World Cup, top of the group, beating Denmark on that massive occasion. Scotland can do it on their day. I say that so unbelievably tentatively. Brazil, Morocco and Haiti. So we play Haiti first, who are ranked like 80-something in the world. Then it's Morocco, and then it finishes on Brazil. Scotland have never, ever got out of a group, ever, in any major tournament. We could get out by finishing third this time.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, well, you need to win one game.
Yeah. You need to beat Haiti in the first game, and that's, I think, the biggest thing. I think the difference with Scotland now is that you look at like McTominay, Robertson, you've got the lads, the Celtic boys, who've all been used to winning. Yeah. But this is a total different thing, what they've all been used to. So they're going to a World Cup where, there's now a nation, and I understand when you get to... what's the stadium called in Scotland? Murrayfield. Hampden Park. Sorry, Murrayfield's Rugby. Yeah, sorry.
Glorious.
So at Hampden, and they would have had them moments, but they knew that the whole Scottish, the Tartan Army are there, the Flower of Scotland, the way it's sung, and everything else. So that probably got them over the line in them moments. Whether they can go now and take all that emotion and be able to, on the first game against Haiti, where they're going to be favourites, and can they then go, right, we're going to put a marker down here and go and beat them? Because if they do, that gives them, as Tim said, then, well, you're very, very surprised if you don't get out the group then. So this is the biggest thing for them, and they've got to go out and do it, and they've got to prove it, because they've got them big game players. Can they all turn up on that game for Scotland at that moment? Because it's never been a bigger game probably.
But this is the biggest game for Haiti as well. They will target this Scotland game and think, if we can win this one, there's a chance we can progress. So it's the cup final. The first game for you.
Scotland lose it, and then they go to Miami and they beat Brazil.
Yeah. Take that.
Yeah, what's in that? Just check.
Yeah, I cannot wait. So I go to Glasgow on Wednesday, fly on Thursday for the 2 games in Boston.
Are you doing both games?
Yeah, I just can't
brilliant.
wait, Kev. It's just gonna.
Are you going as a supporter or
No, I'm going with the SFA.
Oh,
so I'm
superb.
working for the SFA. I'm doing corporate stuff and some
Brilliant.
social media stuff and some bits and bobs. I cannot wait. I'm so unbelievably
Oh,
excited.
brilliant.
Good.
My first World Cup, obviously, because I was like 15 the last time Scotland were there. Okay. Right.
Time to do the maths in my head now.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm 43, Kev. I'm good with it. Okay, a couple of quick fire questions to finish as well. So, who will be England's star man during the tournament?
Declan Rice, Harry Kane. I can't go between them two. I
Okay.
think he'll step up a bit more. Declan with big game moments.
Love Declan Rice. I just think Harry will be the star man because he's going to score the goals to take us to wherever we need to get to.
I'm saying Nico O'Reilly. Steps it up, smashes you up.
So
Yeah.
he's a very good player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Love him. Okay, who will win the Golden Ball? So that's the player of the tournament.
Player of the tournament.
The whole tournament. Well, you're hoping it's not Dembele.
I'm hoping for Harry's sake that it's not Dembele because then he will win the Ballon d'Or again, which would be a shame. Not for him, but for Harry.
Yeah. He'll be fine. Yeah. Tough one.
Yeah, it is a tough
I
one.
suppose you've got to decide who you think's going to win and then...
Yeah.
Vinicius Junior.
Oh, do you think? Oh, that's a shout.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't go away from him.
So-
He's good. I'd go probably Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah, I feel like, did he get the golden boot last time? Or
Yeah,
the
he
golden ball? He got
scored
one
the
of
hat-trick,
them.
didn't he? And
Yeah,
he lost
final.
in the final, so
Yeah.
he was there. So I think because he's had a little bit of, he's got something to prove now because the Real Madrid fans, everybody
They're
give him a
against
little
it,
bit
yeah.
of stick and everything else. I think he want to go and prove that he's the top dog again. So yeah, he'll be one of my picks.
Scott McTominay's mine.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Which team will be the flop of the tournament?
Ooh. Oh, please don't be England.
Put your rights, mate. We can
So I'm going to say, I think I'm basing this off the fact that what you've just told me about Martinez and Portugal, I'm going to say that it's going to be another one of them tournaments where they're going to struggle for goals. I think the back four and the midfield three, you can't sort of argue with that. Yeah. I think it just depends what he does there. So I'm going to say probably Portugal will be my one if I was a gambler man.
I'm not sure what the team I'm going to say is the flop because I'm not sure how much we expect from them.
Don't you dare say Scotland.
No, we know. I'm going to say Holland.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah,
some very good players.
Yeah,
I'm not sure they got the goals.
What would they be? You think to win it? They'd be way out there, wouldn't they?
Oh, I've got odds for you. Okay, because my next question is who do you think will win the tournament? Okay, so Spain currently favourites 4-1.
Wow.
France 9-2. England 6-1. Portugal 8-1. Brazil 8-1, Argentina 8-1, Germany 14-1, Netherlands 20-1.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah,
Norway 25-1, Belgium 33-1. Why have production not written Scotland's odds? This is a joke.
Never had a long enough bit of paper.
Yeah.
Is this just the Scottish
Basically, yeah.
football?
Basically, it's usually Blackburn, today it's Scotland, yeah.
I think the probably odds are around what I'd think. I think
Brazil are long.
Yeah.
I think they're long odds, them.
Yeah.
8-1 for Brazil.
Especially if you go back to what you right at the start, what you were saying about the heat in terms of the European team struggling with the heat. I mean, that's not an issue for Brazil.
Not at all. Not at all. They're used to it. And they're also used to keeping the ball, which is going to be a key ingredient to anyone who wins that competition. You know yourself. I mean, it's easier when you've got the ball than chasing it. And if you have to chase it,
fatigue, don't you? Quicker.
Yeah.
You know, when you've got the ball, you're just thinking about keeping it, moving them, keep them moving, let the ball do all the work. And they'll do that probably better than anyone with the quality of player.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you're probably right.
It's the word, even
quite long.
No matter who you play, when you're playing them City, you know, when Pep first come over, when he was popping that ball around, you know. And
I remember, and you look at the clock and you think, it's only 3 minutes gone.
And just, I know, Liverpool back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to Anfield and the ball was just mesmerised. You're just chasing it around and your manager stands in the technical area and says, they're not hurting us. It's like, tell Tell my legs that, please.
And my head, and my body.
And my mind.
Yeah. My head's gone. I don't know which way I'm going round in circles. I'm seeing two of David Silva's round me at the minute. He's 1 minute he's there, 1 minute he's here. I don't know where to go. But yeah, so yeah, I think I probably got it about right. I think, but I agree with what Tim's saying there. I think Brazil's quite big.
So who do you think's going to win the World Cup?
Yeah, well, my thing all the way through is I've always said Spain again. I think because they'll be able to handle the heat, they'll handle the ball.
Yeah.
I think it's a massive thing if Yamal's not fit. Yeah. I think that takes it away from it. But I always see the probably South American sides when the heat is always the one, or the European sides who've played in them extreme conditions is probably the ones who will be there latter stages of the tournament.
I'm going Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they're going to entertain us as well as win, which would be good for football.
Yeah. I'm going France. Although, again, I hope not, because I'd like Harry Kane to get the Ballon d'Or. But I just think when you look at that lineup, Elise is just so special.
He is, yeah.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, and sorry, I wanted to quickly say as well, huge congratulations to Tony Mowbray for getting back into management with Blackburn. Brilliant. I was so thrilled when I saw that come up on my Instagram feed the other day.
Yeah.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a legend, mate. Yeah. It's a shame he had to, obviously for health reasons, he had to leave in the first place, but I'm sure he'd be welcome back there from the Ewood Park fans. I think he's a good appointment, really good, solid safe pair of hands.
Yeah, I was with him not so long ago at the LMA, one of the LMA dudes, and he was saying how it's been a tough time for him, but he's looking forward to trying to get back in now, but just being open and transparent about what's gone on over that with the owners and everything else. So it's really good to see someone who's does it properly back in the game.
Proper. So happy. He's one of my favourite guests we've ever had. He was wonderful. And obviously as well, talking about that as well, the news with Kenny Dalglish that came out over the weekend as well, we send him all of our love.
Yeah, definitely.
Get well soon.
Of course.
The King.
The King. Oh, the absolute.
And Kevin Keegan.
Yeah.
And Kevin Keegan.
Two of my old managers.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for coming.
No, thank
Appreciate
you. I'm sorry I was late.
No, right. Sorry you're all good. Thank you. Yeah.
Pleasure.
Thank you for being our wonderful standing gaffer as always.
Pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
We much appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you all for watching. We are here throughout the World Cup. Don't forget, new Boyle Sports customers can get a bet £10, get £40 in free bets offer. Plus, get 2-1. It was evens on England to beat Costa Rica and Croatia. 18 plus T's and C's apply. Please gamble responsibly. We will be back next week.